Miltyverse launching in 3, 2, 1.
Phoenix, how's it going?
Yo, it's going pretty good. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I was awfully shocked to find out that you are not in Phoenix.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I actually do a joke about that because every time somebody hears that that's my name, they either assume that I'm from Phoenix, I've lived in Phoenix. I've never even been to Phoenix, man.
Baffling.
And I just think it's hilarious because people get so upset. They're like, wait, why haven't you ever gone to Phoenix? Like it's some kind of prerequisite because that's my name. And I just think it's so funny.
That's awesome. So is Phoenix your given name, or is this a name that you've acquired as your name for your stage presence? Or
No, well, okay. So, funny story. I'm actually transgender, so we get the awesome task of picking our own names eventually.
Sure.
So it wasn't my birth name. My mom gave me a very interesting birth name that we'll never talk about.
Nah, that ain't me.
But I started going by Phoenix in high school. I went to a art school, and I was gonna be like this famous writer in my head, anyways, right? So, I was like, yo, I need a cool pen name. You know what I mean? So Phoenix was what I adopted. And then I started to DJ a little and I was, DJ Phoenix and the whole nine. And then eventually I just dropped the in front of Phoenix and it just stuck.
Okay.
So, years later, when I went to legally change my name, everybody's like, oh, what are you going to change your name to? And I'm like, Phoenix. And they're like, but you've always been Phoenix. And I'm like, exactly. So that's what I picked. It stuck and it just it's kind of my personality at this point. You know what I mean? I'm always rising from some kind of ashes to reinvent myself or whatever you want to call it. So I like it. It sticks.
That's interesting. Okay, so writer. What type of writer were you going to be?
Okay, that's a good question. I guess.
Who did you admire, I suppose?
I guess poetry. Poetry was what I did the most of. I can write a mean essay though, like an argumentative essay, so I did that a lot in college, and then I also took like some playwriting classes, so that was pretty lit. So yeah, I mean, just about anything to do with writing, I was down for.
Very cool. So I guess that would come in handy as a comic.
Yeah. It's funny because like if you had told me back then that I was going to be doing stand-up, I would have been like, whatever. But it kind of makes sense. Like it kind of translates, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, the writing background was already there. I was already, pretty funny, at least I think so, you know what I mean? So it was just a smooth transition, and because I had already performed poetry in front of large audiences, getting up on the stage was never really like scary. Okay, I won't say that, because getting up to do stand-up is still very daunting, because nobody goes to a poetry show specifically to heckle. But people will go to comedy clubs specifically to heckle. So, there's that. But it gave me a little bit, like I was a little more at ease on stage because of my background performing. So that made it a little bit easier.
Sure. And then if you had any good friends that were worth their salt, you're used to hecklers anyways, right?
Your mom is so fat.
Yeah, but it's still, man, it's frustrating, dude.
I'm just kidding.
No. Like, it's still like, I'm trying to get better. Like, I want to, I grew up in Detroit, so we used to do the dozens and, talking trash.
So you're used to it.
I want to get better at, like, calling my hecklers out and, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's when you have like a set prepared, you have a certain amount of time that you're getting up there and you're trying to, get your jokes out, especially because me, like I film all of my sets. So, it's frustrating when somebody is drunk and they think they're funnier than you, And so they're out there like making comments that, hey, you get up here, bro. Like
Right.
nothing's stopping you. It's an open mic. You get up here if you're so funny. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I guess that's the element that
Oh
frustrates
yeah,
me.
I bet.
If I were like in a stadium and you know what I'm saying, there were people talking smack, then I'd roll with it. I probably would, especially if I had like 30 minutes or whatever. I
Right.
probably would go and do three your mama jokes and keep it pushing. But when I got a 5 minute open mic set, I don't have time to engage with you because I got three more jokes to do. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm still learning a lot. Like I've considered trying my hand at it. I write a few jokes here and there, and like recently some funny things have happened, and I
Yeah.
have thought about how to make them funnier or whatever. I told one or two of those jokes last week to my friend Jonathan Reels. I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen any of those episodes with him in it, but he's my best friend from high school. So we run everything by each other, and we've decided like once a month we're going to do an episode together. I think so. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
but
That's good.
I
I
want
say,
to I want
I
to give it a
say, do
shot.
it,
But
man.
yeah,
Just do it. Like the first time I did it, it was like I thought I was going to like puke out my eyeballs. I was so nervous.
yeah,
But the scariest time is the time between you first touch the mic and you get your first laugh.
right.
After you get your first laugh, it's lit. It's like
Do you?
crack. I've never smoked crack before, but I
Yeah.
assume
Please, sir.
that that's what smoking crack feels like. It is
I want some more.
euphoric after you get that first laugh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
So all right, here's a couple questions based off of that. Then, all right, do you remember your first laugh that you got on stage?
yes, I do. I told you I film all of my
So
stuff. So yes,
what was the joke that got your first laugh?
the my very first open mic set, before I even got into my jokes, I was like, yo, I'm real nervous. So everybody laughed, and then everybody started laughing. That was my first laugh, and I was like, oh, this is easy. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't even started telling jokes yet. I was like, oh, this is cake.
That's
You know?
interesting. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people say like that nervous energy that you get, like if you use it, it helps you somehow.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So off of that, so do you remember your first? Oh, what was the second thing I was going to say off of that? It'll come back to me, I think.
My first heckler.
No, not the first heckler, but
No,
more
because I
so.
remember that very vividly.
Well, tell me
too.
that. Yeah.
It was in that same first open mic. This lady like starts talking on her phone.
Hello?
And like I even addressed it in the video. I was like, oh, that lady's talking and it's confusing me. Because it was like it completely derailed what I was thinking about.
Right.
So I was just like, oh no. But I kind of incorporated her into the joke and it made me feel a little bit better. But I was very, very frustrated, like visibly frustrated. But yeah, but I think I handled it well. I mean, yes.
Yeah. See, I don't think that it'd be that hard for me to deal with a heckler as much because I used to be a student pastor, and middle school kids can just like really just step on your toes. So like I could imagine a drunk dude is probably about like a middle school kid.
Oh yeah. Same energy.
Yeah.
And that's funny. I used to teach creative writing to middle schoolers, fresh out of school.
That's awesome.
And yeah, but it was funny because I was the same height as all the middle schoolers. So everybody, like the principal, they used to think that I was one of the kids in the hall. So that was pretty funny. I'm getting heckled by the principal and the assistant principal all the time. Like that was fun. But yeah. Like middle schoolers definitely give off, you know what I'm saying, drunk city girl vibes. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. 100%. So so you worked in a school?
Yeah, man, I've done just about everything. Like, and most of it was before 2010. 2010, I started. Oh no, yeah, 2011, I started welding, and I did that for 10 years. That was like the longest job that I ever had.
What were you
prior
welding?
to that, I was welding submarines. Actually, I would take them apart and put them back together. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. In Virginia?
Yeah.
I knew a guy that worked there. And
Where?
I don't know the name of the place, but he welded submarines and battleships over there in Virginia.
That's
He's
insane.
a friend of mine. I don't know if I should say his name out or not, but
that's funny. Yo, sidebar it because it'll be so funny
if y'all knew each other.
Or at least worked at the same place. And you know what's funny? I moved up here to Alaska like 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was working in a laundromat of all places, right? I ended up running into a sailor that was on the very first submarine I welded on. He was up here in Alaska,
So that
and
was
he's like,
in Alaska. You worked at the laundromat,
"Yeah,
so you would only work like 3 months out of the year because everybody hibernates the other 9, right?
I wish that was the case." No, no. It's funny, man, because uh, we do more. I feel like honestly, I feel like we do more work in
Okay.
the wintertime than we do in the summertime because like everybody is chilling in the summertime. Like we got 24-hour daylight in the
That's
summertime.
crazy. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's nuts. Like the first couple of weeks of summer is so hard because I feel like I'm sleepy all the time. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like my brain doesn't know when to go to bed. And
No,
now
yeah.
I work overnights. So for it to be like 4 o'clock in the morning, but it looks 4 o'clock in the afternoon is nuts to me. Well, just yesterday, yeah. Well, I guess was that technically this morning. I don't know, man. I lose track of days because I work overnights. But it was yesterday.
Okay.
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was these cats across the street from my job just playing like full court basketball at 4 o'clock in the
So
morning.
you just like randomly decide to take a nap whenever you feel like it at this point?
Oh yeah, well yeah. You just you know what I mean. Whenever you get the feeling, because at this point there's no telling what time of day it is.
I
It could
got you.
be like right now it's what 4:30. So I'll probably catch one more nap before I go to work tonight, and then I'll be at work
I
all
didn't
night. So
realize that Alaska and California were an hour behind each other. So then if we got one more chance to do the right thing for the US
yeah,
at the end of the day.
yes,
Yeah.
yep,
I
one
like it.
more, yeah. I like it. I like that Alaska is just kind of tucked up here in its own little
It's like
stratosphere.
another
It's kind of
country, isn't it?
it is, and it feels like it because if you take like all the people that are here, and I think like the ratio is like we'd all get like 33 square, nah, yeah, like 30 something square miles to ourselves if you divide up the whole state. And I could be wrong, like the numbers could be even higher than that. Or maybe I think we might get 100 miles, but there's like that's how few people there are for the amount of land that's up here, and it's nuts.
That's wild. Have you ever been to that one city that's like inside of a building?
Yo, not yet, but my homegirl is coming up. Um, is it next? No. This I want to say in October, and when that's where I'm gonna go meet her at. That it's called Whittier. It's called Whittier,
Yeah, I watched it
and
on
yeah,
YouTube. There's
everybody.
like an hour-long show about it.
Yeah, bro. I cannot wait to go there. There's this chick that does content on TikTok, and she lives in that building. And like, I'm thinking, it looks kind of, rough on the outside, but it's gorgeous on the inside.
Yeah,
But everything is in there. Like, that's crazy. I'd have cabin fever so bad
right?
because, like, how do you like, especially in the wintertime? But it's crazy that everything is in that building.
I'm surprised that nothing like The Shining has ever happened there.
Right? But can you imagine like the fire brigade? I mean, I think the fire department is in the building too
Yeah, they
because
got their own
can you
police.
imagine? Yeah, can you imagine if something happened and like Miss Lane's apartment catches on fire? Like this, the whole town is right here. Like
Yeah,
that's nuts.
yeah, it's crazy. Or like if somebody did something nefarious in the
Right,
middle of the
right,
winter when they can't get out.
right. I mean, but then I think that would kind of cut down on like crime and stuff like that because it's like how can you can't steal from John, you live next door, you know what I mean?
You're gonna
Like
end up in a
there's
fight.
no yeah, like everybody I wonder if they even lock their doors or you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that
That's crazy.
because why, we're all in the same building, we all got the same stuff, I don't know, man, it's interesting, I'm curious, I can't wait to go check it out for myself.
And I never thought about this. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit existential here, but this is just interesting. And like, you know how businesses, you can start a business with like a little popsicle stand or something outside, and then you
Yeah,
scale that and scale that and scale that. What if you could scale that into government? Like my friend is always talking to me about anarchy, and that's basically what anarchy is.
right,
There ain't
right,
nobody
right.
else but y'all. So like, I wonder if that could be possibly scaled outward.
for like the whole
Like
town to
the
live
town to
in.
the state to the country to around the world. Like
Yeah, they do it all the time. They're called cults, and nobody likes those.
you're right about that.
I mean, but truth be told, like, and you're gonna hear it first. I would so totally start a cult. Like, it wouldn't be like one of those weird religious cults. I think it would just be a cool gated community with cool vibes, lots of weed,
They
and
have that in Florida. It's called
incense.
the Villages, and you have to be retired to go there.
Yeah, but Florida is a whole
Have you
different.
heard
That's a
about the Villages?
nah.
Oh, well, it's like it's very known in Florida. Like old people go there so that they can hook up with other people, like swingers all the way. They put
Yo,
different colored bathroom loofahs, bathtub loofahs on their golf carts. And this one means I like this stuff, and this one means like I like that stuff, and like they'll have 2 or 3 of them. And if you wear red shoes and you're not an old person, that tells people there that you're like, I'm cool with old people.
oh snap!
So that's kind of a
Yo, that's
cult.
interesting. You about to make me Google some stuff when I get off of here, yo. That's funny.
It's crazy.
But nah, I don't know. I would never ever want to reside in Florida though. Like every time I hear like the craziest newspaper articles, like headlines, there's always like man robs bank with alligator. Like that's
Yeah.
definitely Florida. Like I don't know what they're on down there, but it's crazy.
Apparently, there's an alligator without a tail running around in Florida right now.
Yo, I saw that video. That was crazy.
It's insane. So Alaska doesn't have weird stuff like that?
I mean, we do, but
You got moose. What kind of like? Don't they do crazy stuff?
sometimes not the ones up here, thank goodness, but like I saw a video where this moose down in Kenai went into the movie theater and it was just walking around with a with a popcorn bucket on his antlers, and it was just in the movie theater chilling. So
He was late for Snow White.
I guess I don't know what movie he was trying to premiere. He was, but I thought that was pretty
No,
funny.
that was Cinderella that caught all the animals with a song, wasn't it? I don't remember. It's been so long.
I think you're right. I think it was Cinderella. I don't know. That was a long time ago. But yeah, man, that's funny. Now, anytime like there's some crazy moose video or some crazy bear video, everybody sends it to me because they think that like
it happens
I
there.
don't know. Yeah, I mean, and most of them do happen here, to be honest. But I'm nowhere near any. Like I live in the city. Like I live in Fairbanks. Yeah,
okay,
so it's not the biggest city. Anchorage is the biggest one, but we're like the second biggest.
It's kind of like where I live. If you live in town, you still live in a town. You don't live in the woods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now I did live in the woods.
Now I do live in the woods, but go ahead.
Oh wow. No, I did live in the woods very, very briefly in a dry cabin, which means that we didn't have
no
any
alcohol?
indoor plumbing. No. I wish that was the only thing. No. We didn't have any indoor plumbing, so we had an outhouse. Yeah, it was crazy. That was an experience.
And what kind of outhouse do we have in 2025?
The same old wooden shack outhouses that they had probably in the 1909.
Is it like a hole under it that it goes down into, or is it? Yeah. So it's like a deep hole though.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they got those up here at the state park. They stink, but I mean it's okay. You can use it.
Yeah, they stink. And then, there's like mosquitoes and, like I've actually had to like hang tight because there's a moose in the driveway a couple of times. So couldn't go out. Like, yeah, it's been an Alaskan experience, I'll say.
That's interesting. So that gives me an opportunity to tell a potty humor joke, I guess.
All right.
It was really a story that happened to me, but so I used to work in construction doing concrete lifting, and you drill a hole in the concrete about the size of my pinky or maybe a little smaller, and then you have this like spray gun. It has 2 different polymers that come together inside of the little nozzle, and it goes down in there. It creates foam and it lifts the concrete up. So I've been working hard doing that. You can't really use the bathroom at a customer's house. I don't have a colon because I had ulcerative colitis and it was cut out. My whole colon was cut out when I was like 22 or 23, something like that. So it's really, I can hold on for a while, but eventually I can't.
Right.
Right. So finish the job. Come out of this big, giant gated community that takes 30 minutes to get out of. And then there's
Jesus.
like a BP station right there. A beeline to the BP. My buddy's like, I'm ready to go home. I was like, well, I got to take a dump. So shut up. So I go and run in there, drop it, pop it, flush it, realize I can't wipe because there's no toilet paper.
Oh no.
So then I have a really big decision to make. How am I going to proceed?
Oh no.
So I looked around. There aren't any paper towels. They just got the machine. I was like, God.
No,
I
you
looked
gotta
down.
survey that before you get in there.
I looked at my underwear.
Yep, I'm telling. That was either that or a sock.
And I had on these big old Georgia work boots. So I was like, I'm gonna have to take my shoes off or something. And then I looked down and I saw my knife. So I cut my underwear off and I used my underwear. And I bounced.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
Honestly though, I think we've all been there. I working at the shipyard, when I was a welder, I trusted a fart that I shouldn't have. So and I'm in like this big, bay, and the bathroom is like all the way down yonder. Like fortunately though, I was already in the building. If I was like in the dry dock, I might have just had to sit on that one. But so because there ain't no bathrooms in the dry dock, you know what I mean? But so fortunately, I was already in the building. Okay, cool. I have never walked so fast and precise in my life, right? Because I'm not trying to make a mess, right? Yeah, same deal. I get there and I'm like, I'm gonna have to take these off. You know what I mean? Like it was a problem, dude. And it's like to then walk around like afterwards knowing what you know, like, but nobody else knows really,
Yeah.
Or like I feel like you feel like they know, like they have to know, right? They have to, So I think we've all been there before.
I'm actually asking my friend right now if they ever worked with a Phoenix at the docks.
That's crazy. I was in Portsmouth, Virginia.
I think that's where he was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But there are like in Portsmouth, I want to say there's like 2 or 3 shipyards. There's a private shipyard, and then there's a bunch of public shipyards.
Okay.
I worked at I'm sorry. It's the other way around. There's one naval shipyard, which is public. It's a government yard, which is the one I worked at.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of private yards, and all of those suck.
Okay. So the naval was the one that built the submarines, right?
No. No, we actually only did ship repair. We used to build them, but not anymore. All they do is repair them. I think Newport News builds them. Newport News shipyard, which is like our rival.
Yeah.
They build them, and then we fix all of the mistakes that they made.
So did you ever have any crazy run-ins with the OSHA people? Like he said that like sometimes like they would come up and like they were instructed just to put all their tools away and just stand still.
No.
Because even if you were doing it right, they'd try to find some way to get you.
Nah, we always had like a heads up, which was fine.
Yeah.
So like I remember one time, funny story. Yes, like I was it OSHA? It was somebody, some, government agency that was there for safety or whatever. It could have been OSHA. Anyways, they were doing like all these audits, right? And we were carbon arcing some lead plates out of the ballast tanks, which sounds like a whole bunch of whatever. So basically, you got to be like full battle rattle. You got to have an air supply respirator, full face respirator. You got to have a tank watch, a fire watch, and like all of this stuff, right? So I had my fire watch was in the tank with me. And I was kind of sitting on a ledge and I'm, doing my job or whatever. And I messed around and dropped one of my gloves out of the tank, right?
Oh, no.
I was like, damn. Fortunately, I had other gloves, I'm in there, right?
Sure.
So I just had my fire watch chuck me one of his gloves, right? So now I have on 2 gloves. They don't match, but I don't care. I'm trying to get this job done. So I guess the OSHA people saw the glove fall out of the tank. So they assume that I'm in there arcing without a glove, right?
Sure.
So they knock me off and they're like, they're like yanking on my line. And I'm like, what? So the guy, he's some kind of, suit and tie, which he shouldn't have even been down there dressed all nice like that. I should have got him dirty, but that's a whole nother conversation. But anyways, he's like, where are your gloves? So I'm like, I show him my hands that both my hands got gloves on them. And he's just like, oh, okay. Like, what makes you think that I would do this? This is like a 4,000-degree ball of flames. Like, why would I do this without gloves?
Right.
So anyways, he leaves. And then I almost dropped my damn boot out the tank. So that would have been very, very bad because I didn't have an extra set of boots in there. So
right. Okay. That's
that would have
funny.
been funny.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, so I'm imagining that you've always been able to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Right. So when did you decide that you were gonna, or what came after writing? That's what I should ask.
So okay, I'll tell you like the decision that I made to get up on stage.
Yeah.
Because it didn't start with writing. It didn't start with because my writing was always separate. That was poetry, stuff like that.
I guess
right?
What creative pathways did you take before you started comedy?
Therapy, and let me explain. I would go to therapy every week. You know what I'm saying? And I would be making my therapist crack up laughing.
Okay.
And I'm talking about she would be in stitches. And I'm like, wait a minute. I pay a lot of good money to be here to make you laugh. I need to get paid to make people laugh if that's the case, right? So I kind of pitched that idea to her. She was like, oh, yeah, you should definitely try it. And I'm like, really? So now, comedy is my therapy, man, and it's funny. I reached out recently to my therapist because she's down in Virginia and, we kind of split ways when I moved up here. And it was harder than almost any other breakup I've ever had. Like it was weird, man. I was like, I'm gonna miss you. But so I reached out to her because I've been up here for 2 years now.
Okay.
And I was just like, hey, this and that, blah blah blah. I sent her like some links to my comedy, to my TikTok or whatever, and she was like, "Yo, this is crazy." She was like, "When you get big, I'll be able to tell all my friends that you used to be my client." And then she thought about it. She's like, "Wait, actually, no, I can't because of HIPAA, right?"
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, can you imagine like knowing that, like, okay, say in the future, right, I do become Dave Chappelle hot, right? Okay, cool. Can you imagine her not being able to ever tell anybody that she was my therapist?
You would just have to one day bring her on the stage and be like, everybody, listen, this is the one.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome.
Here's the goat.
This is ironic because like after posting in the comic group that I was looking for some people to talk to, unfortunately, I feel like I don't want anybody to feel like they got led along. I'm just looking for specific types of people to talk to. So like, I'm not going to reach out to every one of them because I got tons, but I found another person was a therapist. And her reason for going into comedy is because she is funny for sure, but like she got to thinking like there's really everybody that is in comedy talks about going to their therapist, but I don't ever hear any therapists talk about
right.
But she said obviously you can't talk about your patients, but like situations possibly maybe. So yeah.
No, that's funny. And like if I was a therapist, I would totally use that angle too, because it like you said, it kind of makes sense. And like you said, you can't like call out names and you know what I'm saying, like, oh, well, Robert was here the other day, but you can definitely generalize situations, which I think would be hilarious.
I'm like having this idea here now, and it may not happen. I don't know. You guys both would have to agree to it, but what if we like got both of y'all on the show one day and you could riff off of each other?
That's
we'll
funny,
improv.
man.
That'd be fun.
Nah, she'll try to commit me, I'm sure. She'd be like, "You're not well. Please come see me." She'd be like, "Listen, I came here to do a show, and now I have a new client."
That's
Like,
it, right?
yeah, man.
That's
maybe
good.
and maybe that's her reason too. Like that would be so funny. Can you imagine? Like, oh, I'm a therapist, right? I do stand up, but at the same time, I have all this access to so many future clients, bro. You hear somebody stand up, and you be like, "Come see me on Thursday at 2." Like that would be hilarious, yeah.
Seriously. I do wonder about some folks. I listen to them like, hey, are you okay?
You're right. Like blink twice if you need help, my guy.
Yeah, especially if
Because
you watch Kill Tony, some of the people that get on there, it's like, I don't think you should have got on stage.
right, right. Yeah, I wanna. I'm not gonna say I want to do Kill Tony, but everybody is like, "Oh, you gotta do it, you gotta do it," and I'm like, I haven't watched it
You would have
enough
to live
to.
there to be able to really pull it off unless you got real lucky because they just pull
Yeah,
it at random.
yeah, yeah. Or you gotta know somebody. Like if I gotta give a hand job to somebody to get bumped to the front of the line or something, you know what I mean? But Austin's not a bad place to live. I lived in Texas. I was stationed there when I was in the army.
Oh, you
So
were in the
Austin,
Army?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Thank you for your
yep.
service.
I didn't do it for you. No, I'm
Well,
just playing.
you,
I'm just kidding. Like I'll tell you this: when people say thank you for your service to service members,
uh-huh.
it is literally. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but all the people that I know, it is the most awkward thing because it's like we don't know what to say to y'all. Like, because I didn't thank you. You're welcome. Like, I don't know. Like,
I
yeah,
feel you.
but then I'm a schmuck because I say it to everybody too. I'll be like, "Oh, thank you for your service," knowing good and well, like it is the most awkward phrase ever,
I
dude. But
think it really comes from that time and era for our grandparents and great grandparents that
fair,
really went through hell.
fair. And then they came back, especially like my people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You fought in World War II and came back to a country that didn't embrace you.
Right.
Period. And
We're treated
World
completely
War One,
unfairly.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just dodged a bullet, and then came back to a country that literally hates my face. So yeah, I feel you on that. So all right, cool. I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, and accept it from people too because they just mean it from that heart space.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on people because of that. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
I didn't think you were at
it's
all.
just so anxiety inducing because it's just like I don't know what to say.
I
I'm
get
like,
you.
look,
Yeah,
if
well,
I wasn't a poor kid from Detroit, I probably wouldn't have joined the military, honestly, bro.
yeah, but I mean, it's anytime you do something for somebody, even like nothing like the military, but you buy somebody something to eat or something, and then they like act like it's the best thing you ever did for them, and it's like I just bought you some food.
Right.
Like, I
That's fair.
scale it down, but still, I
Right.
feel you.
He
So
said
you were in the
scale.
Army, you were in
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
You said you lived in 8 states. Was that because of the Army?
Some of them were because of the Army. Some of them was, I get bored. I'm an Aquarius. I get bored. I want to do stuff, and like I don't know. So I moved to Virginia Beach because I had never lived in a city with beach in the name. So cool beans. Let's move to Virginia Beach. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. And then Alaska, I moved out here because I met my wife on the internet because I'm a millennial and who has time to meet people in person. So we ended up getting married, and I was like, well, I guess I can't marry you and still stay in Virginia. So I moved out here, and hands down, best decision I've ever made.
That's amazing.
Especially if she's listening. I'm kidding. But, but yeah, man, I've lived in.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
41.
41. So you're about my age. Okay, I'm 40.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then you would remember things like, "Are You Afraid of the Dark?"
Oh yeah.
All that.
Goosebumps. Oh yeah.
Goosebumps. Yes. What else was popular when we were youngins?
I made a Gargoyles reference, and some people looked at me like I was insane. I was like, "Wait a minute, you don't remember Gargoyles?"
Remember Biker Mice from Mars? It was a Fox show. Like it was similar to Gargoyles and the Pirates of Dark Water.
Biker Mice from Mars?
You had to Google it. You might not. I don't know. It might not have been everywhere, but like where I grew up, it was big.
I I vaguely remember this.
Okay.
Vaguely. I don't know, man. Yeah, I vaguely
I don't
remember
remember
that.
what
That's
year it
funny.
was though, but like I remember stuff from when I was 2 years old still.
That's weird. I don't.
A lot of people tell me that, so like I think that like I don't know, my brain must work different.
Maybe I don't know, man. I blocked out shit because it's trauma. But
I feel you.
but yeah, nah. What year? It says 93. So let me see. I was 9 in 93.
Mighty
Yeah.
Ducks.
Oh, that's the movie, man. I still think that Mighty Ducks 2 was a better movie than the first Mighty
I
Ducks.
agree. I agree.
Hands down.
Yeah.
That's a sequel that surpassed the first one.
Yeah, and Knuckle Puck Time.
And then it got stupid after that.
I remember that whenever Kenan Thompson came out and did the Knuckle Puck Time thing.
Yeah,
and then me and all my friends, like we would be out in the street playing street hockey and we try to do that. And it didn't, you can't do that in real life.
No, that was all I mean, not CGI, but whatever the
movie magic.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. That was all movie magic. That's funny.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. So what were your influences into your sense of humor growing up then? I'll give you a couple of mine. So in the beginning, I tell everybody this, but it was Johnny Carson, but that's because the Tonight Show was accessible to me when I was like a toddler because I heard it come on and I was one of those kids that wouldn't go to sleep. So as soon as it came on, I'd run down the hallway and be like, here's Johnny. And then I would he would do his monologue and I would laugh because people were laughing. I didn't know what he was talking about, right? So then like the first people that I can remember actually understanding that they were funny was like TGIF, like Boy Meets World, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Steve Urkel, Step by Step, and all that stuff. So that's where I kind of like got my comedy roots from, I think, from those kid shows that were, a little bit for the whole family. And then I snuck and watched Eddie Murphy and Martin and, Richard Pryor whenever I could find it. So, yeah.
I like, it was funny. We grew up, I kind of, same, like, with sneaking and watching Eddie Murphy because my mom was watching it and, just hiding out by the door and listening and stifling your laughter and stuff like that. But I also watched like Sinbad.
Oh, I remember him. He was great. And he was clean, Cosby, right?
Yeah, pretty clean. And Bill Cosby was even kind of okay. He had a movie. I remember he had
the Bob and Bibbit story.
I remember he did this movie where I think it was like Ghost Dad or whatever.
Oh yeah, I saw that movie.
I thought that movie was hilarious, and I thought he was funny. Yeah, and it's just a shame.
I was so scared that he was going to disappear forever.
Right,
like I felt that fear.
Right. Yeah. And then, like, as I got older, I think, like you said, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was definitely a big influence. Will Smith,
Jazz though.
Oh yeah,
I laugh so hard at Jazz every time they throw him out the door.
That's funny.
Why you gotta do me like that?
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, man,
Did you ever watch Gallagher, the guy that used to smash like fruit and stuff on stage?
Nah.
I don't know if he was actually funny, but I thought that was hilarious because he would do that and it would just splash all over the crowd.
Yeah, that would piss me off. I wouldn't find that funny.
Probably not. I wouldn't go to that show, but
I wouldn't find that funny at all.
And then what's his name? Pauly Shore.
I wasn't a huge Pauly Shore fan.
I was a nerd, so I loved Pauly Shore.
Like a lot of the stuff, in Living Color, the Wayans family were very
and their show, the Wayans Bros. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
They were very influential in terms of, but honestly, my mindset wasn't on comedy back then.
Right.
So all of that for me was just kind of background. You know what I'm saying? Ellen, I'll put it like this: Ellen DeGeneres, the way she sets up her sets is kind of how I set up my sets, and. Like I'm not a good one-offer. I'm not a one-liner. Like my whole set has to kind of flow together.
Okay.
So I have to essentially curate a 5-minute set. I'm not just getting up there pulling jokes out of my head. Now I can,
sure,
but I prefer that way because I literally watched all of her, stand-up specials. Even Dave Chappelle, who I actually, funny story, we went to the same high school in DC.
Oh, that's so cool.
He just graduated like 8 years before I. Well, not 8, like maybe 6 years before I did.
I watched the what ceremony that he did at the theater there.
I was there.
Was it an
that
acceptance
weekend.
speech?
Yeah,
That's what it
but
was.
he ended up not accepting it.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I was there that weekend. My 20th high school reunion was that weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were there on Sunday, and he did his acceptance on Monday.
Okay.
So, but I had already flew back home by then, so I was very sad to have missed him.
Yeah, no.
It's all good though. I'll get a chance to meet him eventually.
For sure. Share the stage.
I'll open up for him.
Yeah.
That'd be lit.
I love the way that he tells stories and what you're talking about, the setting up the story instead of telling the one-line jokes. One-line jokes are cool when you're just like between you and your kid, or like, hey, your friend's sitting there and you just want to say something corny to make them laugh. But like when you get up on that stage, it feels like it deserves a little bit more than a one-liner. It's a performance.
It depends on your delivery because like I know I've seen comics that do it very well.
Yeah.
I'm just not that comic.
I feel like the ones that do the one-liners aren't just doing one-liners though. If you really look at the good ones, the meat of it, they're actually getting somewhere like you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll do like a multiple punchline. So I'll do my setup, right?
Those are the best.
Hit you with a punchline, you start laughing, then I sneak another punchline in there. You just laugh a little bit more. Then boom, I hit you with one more. You know what I'm saying? The TKO. You know, so I do that a lot. Yeah, actually, I'm so far behind. I need to start writing. I have like 3 shows coming up, and I haven't written a single new joke. Oh, well, that's not true. I haven't finished writing my new jokes, so I need to stop procrastinating. But I'm just so good at it.
Yeah, that's a comedic thing. I was listening to the Comedy Bible by Judy. The name slips my mind all of a sudden, but it's a good book, Comedy Bible.
Okay, Comedy Bible.
So she talks about going from just telling jokes and just, one after another jokes, but then turning your stories and your life and the things you've gone through into funny stories, and like how like there's a process to that and you're supposed to do all these things. And one of the things that she says is don't procrastinate on doing the little exercises in this book. You need to do them. And I'm like, oh yeah, well I listened to half the book and now I'm going. I'm writing some stories.
I'm dead. But see, I don't know, man. I think most comics got like a touch of ADHD, or you know what I'm saying?
It's Judy Carter, that's her name.
Okay.
I don't want to disrespect the lady. She's like, she's a big deal for real.
That's what's up. I'm about to Judy. That sounds. Oh, there it is. The Comedy Bible. Oh wow. All right, bet. I'm gonna have to cop that because that looks fun.
It was really worth the listen, and I did listen to the whole book. I just started.
I can't do an audio book. They make me sleepy.
Well, you probably would. Since you're doing comedy, you probably benefit from the physical copy because there's like some homework and stuff to do with it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's like it's a workbook.
You do all of this comedy prep work for you to not be a comedian. You have like all of this stuff. You need to just go ahead and do stand up.
Well, I have this show to produce. It's got to be entertaining.
You gotta just bite the bullet and do it. Like whatever. Figure out when your next open mic in your city. Wait, where are you at? I don't even know where you're at.
So I live in Johnson City, Tennessee. There's a place that I need to check out because people have told me about it. It's in Bristol, but I think it's real small. Mm-hmm. And
it's a good starting spot.
Is it good to start small?
Yes. You don't want to be overwhelmed. You don't want to like. I started out really, really, really little, and then my first big show when I got up here, it was like 300 plus people, and it was insane.
See, I feel like I feel more comfortable talking to a sea of people than I would just 10 people.
All right.
I don't know why I feel that way.
That's crazy. Well,
I'm used to playing music in front of a lot of people like that, though.
Well, all right, that's fair.
To me, I don't see a crowd. I just see nothing out there.
That's fair.
But
That's
when there's
fair.
like 10 people and then that one person says something to me, I'm like, oh, I'm throwing my bottle at you. You know what I mean?
All right. I get you. Because like when I did that show with like 300 plus people, the house lights were down, so I couldn't, like you said, I couldn't really see much, but like the front row. So that's cool. But yeah, when you're doing like an open mic and you can see everybody's face and you can see how uninterested people are,
See, that would get me
that's distracting.
for sure.
But on the flip side of that, though, if you can turn those uninterested people into interested people, that's a W that nobody can take away from you.
So
and I used to do that
it's a
all
skill
the time,
that you have to develop.
I mean,
Unless it's
I
natural.
suppose. I don't know. And it's funny because like I'll do like open mics, right? And the person before me, I won't go as far as to say that they bombed, but they didn't command the attention, right? So
Right.
we're in a bar. People didn't even know it was going to be comedy night, so nobody's really paying attention, right?
Okay.
So now, watching that happen, I'm like, all right, cool. So I get up there and I just command, like, you have to make your presence felt.
Right.
And people are going to stop their conversation. They're going to stop watching the game. They're going to turn and look at you. And once that happens, you have a millisecond to make them laugh. And once you do that, then you got them.
Okay.
If you don't do that, then they're going to go back to whatever it was they were doing. But once you get up there, you command their attention, you got to do something with it. And that's it. That's literally it. Especially like on an open mic, sort of standpoint. Once you command their attention, use it, and then don't like give it back to them. You know what I'm saying? Until you're done.
Okay.
Look at me giving out advice.
No, I like it. I like it. You sound like you know what you're talking about.
I've done a few open mics. I've opened for a lot of comics up here. Surprisingly, I must say, like, first, let me shout out. Funny Fest out here was like my first big show, right?
Okay.
I did the Funny Fest, and because of it, I walk into Walmart and Fairbanks and people recognize me. So I'm very blessed, right?
Sure.
Then because of Funny Fest, Pacololo,
especially
like
if they're not like talking bad about you when they see you.
Nah, right. They're like, hey, you're that comedian.
That's
I'm
always
like,
good.
Chips, right? Then Pacololo started doing this comedy series where they would bring comics up from the lower 48,
okay,
to do shows, and they would have me and a couple other locals open up for those guys. So I've opened up for lots of comedians.
Did you open up for Theo Von when he came up there?
No, I don't. Did he come to Fairbanks? I think he just came to Anchorage.
I swear. Well, Anchorage. Oh, I don't know where. He said Alaska.
Yeah, Anchorage is like 6 hours from here.
Oh, I would have flown with my arms to go over there.
That's funny. I remember when Theo was on with the Real World.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I didn't even realize that. I didn't know who Theo Von was. I'm gonna be honest. Until like 2 or 3 years ago. Really?
Really?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, I knew. That's when I found out who Theo Von was. I didn't know who.
Yeah, I remember when he was on the Real World. Yeah, they were gonna film a Real World in DC, and I was living in DC at the time, and the radio station was giving out like free, skip the line passes for the audition.
Okay.
So I called them, and they were like, "Well, why should we pick you?" And I was like, "Look, I'm Black, I'm gay, I'm a chick." I was like, yo, I'm like the triple threat. Like, you gotta have your token Black gay person on every show. And they were like, hold on, we'll give you those passes. So I got to skip the line, but I clearly didn't get picked for the show. So
yeah, but that's still cool that there's that little bit of a close brush there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got on the radio. That's all that mattered.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't know who Theo was, but like listening to his podcast and just like from the beginning, I started at episode 1 whenever I found out about the show, because that's how I do all of them.
Right.
And just like hearing how he would fumble through it and just go and just be dumb and didn't care. And I was just like, people like this. This is funny. So then I was like, I could do that. So that's what gave me the courage to step out and try, was just like seeing him do it.
That's what's up. So how long have you been doing your podcast? Let me interview you now.
Yeah, I started in February.
Oh, snap. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you do it weekly or once
I started out bi-weekly, and then I moved to weekly, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. I used to do a podcast way before podcasting became a thing, right?
Right.
And it was a show that I did called Hip Hop and Haircuts.
Cool.
And I got the name because we broadcast from a barber shop.
Oh,
And
what?
yeah, it was so lit because the concept in my mind was that, in the urban community, the barbershop is where it's like the fountain hole, like the watering hole. Like it's where everybody gets their news, their sports, their entertainment. Everybody congregates at the barbershop. Even if you're not getting a haircut, shit, they made movies about it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, that's actually a lit concept. So I took like that idea and I wanted to highlight local musicians. So I didn't play anything that was like being played on the radio unless it was like a cool remix that a local cat did to it or
Right.
whatever. But yeah, man, I did that show for like a year. It was a lot of fun.
That's
A lot.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been fun so far. Like I've been able to meet some different people from all over the place.
Yeah.
Learn something from everybody. Like I said, I believe that we're all one. I believe that we are meant to love each other and hang out together and get to know each other and vibe together. And that's the only way to change the world.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I saw a post earlier, and it was like, "Love is born, hate is taught," or something along those lines. And I think is very true. You know what I mean? Like you're not as a kid, you don't understand racism. You don't understand like those kinds of constructs are pretty much taught. They're inherited, and not necessarily from just your family, from society and
Just
stuff like
seeing
that.
it in
So
general. Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like if we could, as let kids be kids in that sense to where we don't taint them one way or the other, it could have generational benefits down the line. Because, like you said, I mean, we all pretty much do the same stuff. We
Yeah.
just do it in different outer clothes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Even like with religious things, people like everybody's trying to reach the creator
Right,
somehow,
right.
right? In different ways. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you on that. My boss is texting me.
Tell
I
them
guess I'm
you're
in trouble.
you're busy. I'm just kidding.
That's what I told her. I was
Don't
like,
you
give me a
wish?
minute. Oh Lord, have mercy. So
If you're watching this, we're just playing. We love you.
I'm gonna send her the link.
Do it.
I'm like, this right here is when you started texting me.
Oh, that's great.
Man.
So, you're doing it. You're doing comedy. What is the vision?
That's interesting that you ask. People say all the time, like, "Oh man, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it," or what, but what's making it? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I
Like
ask, right?
That's the question that you have to ask
Yeah.
because making it is different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be Kevin Hart funny. I don't want to be Kevin Hart fame. I don't even want to be Dave Chappelle fame, to be extremely honest. I'll take the money, not the fame, but
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
But for me, and I joke about it all the time, to me, making it is to where I can get a phone call. Somebody needs me to be there today or tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the next flight. I'm on the next flight money. That's all I want, yo. I
Yeah.
want to be able to be like, what? No, meet me at the airport. I'm on the next flight.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money I want, yo. Either that or like, that's how many miles I got. But realistically, making it for me would be to where comedy is my source of income, and anything else that I do because I want to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm doing some marketing stuff because that's what I went to college for that too. I've done so many things, right? But I went to college for advertising and marketing, so it's something that I love to do. I would totally do it as a career, but I want to do stand up. So if I were to do other things, you know what I'm saying, it's because I want to, not because I have to, not because I need that check to pay the bills. I want comedy to be able to pay the bills and everything else that I do to be extra because I want it to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
that's the goal, I guess.
I agree with you on that. And I'm just kidding a little bit, but not really. If it were to happen, I'd be happy with it. But I heard somebody say that it was actually Joe Rogan, but he said that if to him making it was being able to afford any meal you wanted at any time.
Fair.
So then we got to go to Cancun because my wife's work, she won an award and she could take a +1. And we got to go eat real Mexican food because I'm telling you that the stuff that we have here is not real Mexican food. I don't care if they're really Mexicans making it. It's not the same thing. So we go and we have this food and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I think if I could afford to, when I want Mexican food, fly to Mexico and eat, that would be making it.
That's fair. That's fair right there. I like that. I like that concept. Yeah.
I don't care about being famous so much as like I just want to be able to afford what I want to do.
Fair.
And it doesn't mean having everything or having the biggest house in the world either.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get where the misconception comes. Everybody thinks that, you know, people want money just to hoard money. And it's like, no, man, I need the money to support the lifestyle that I want to have. Like, I don't want to have to work. Me and my wife are talking about it. I want to be able to see something that I want, swipe the card, and not have to even think about what's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, and granted now, you know, my wants are going to align with my money. Sure. I'm not going to be like, oh, I want that Maserati on a hotel salary. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, like you said, I want steak tonight. I want to be able to swipe my card for that $42 steak and not have to worry about what's in the bank.
Right.
And, you know, we're getting there. And I'm fortunate, you know what I'm saying, that we're getting there. But yeah, man, that's making it for me, man.
I agree with that 100%. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Well, Phoenix, I really appreciate this. It's been so fun. I definitely want you to come back. Maybe we can really arrange you and the therapist to come have a conversation. It'd be fun.
Yes, telehealth. I love it.
Telehealth, yeah. We'll call that the episode. That's what you should call it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, call it telehealth. That'd be hilarious. I love it.
All right, then. Well, we'll catch you next time.
Let me know when and where, bro. Yeah, let me know when and where. I'll totally do it, yo.
Definitely.
But, yo, so thank you guys, everybody that's watching the show. Don't forget to follow me if you think I'm even a little bit funny. I am Phoenix the Comedian on all social media. I also got a website, phoenixthecomedian.com. If I paid my dues for the year or whatever, that should be live. But yeah, Phoenix the Comedian on Instagram, TikTok. I even got a YouTube, yo. If you guys are old school, you can go follow me there, and then Facebook. So yeah, man, this has been real fun. I can't wait to do it again.
I didn't mean to not give you the opportunity to do that. Thanks for doing it anyways. Also, YouTube ain't old school. YouTube's coming back around. Like, well,
no, it is. YouTube is
2025 is the double digit year.
Hey, I like it. I like it.